just so you know, I'm recording this intro. When we're done, welcome to the show.
Perfect. Classic.
What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy podcast. My name is Luke Zilke, and I'm here with my awesome friend and co-host, Chris Acker.
What up? I'm here with our third musketeer, Tyler Davis.
What's up, guys?
Also, are we having a regular intro before the music?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything, so I was just like, I'm going to get this started.
Bow wow wow.
Should make a dubstep version of that song randomly.
Just throw it in like a random episode. Be like, surprise.
I don't really want to take the time to do it, though, so
I'm sure it wouldn't take you that long. Just take the same loops and add a different effect to it, right?
I'll just put reverb up to 100 and put an echo up to 100 and see what it sounds like. Oh, it will sound horrible.
It'll just be like...
I'll turn it into that like sound that a dank meme sounds like, where it's just like... And then we can do that episode will be our favorite dank memes.
Favorite meme episode. That'd be fun.
I'd have too many.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would take forever, but
I just
it'd be
love
fun.
memes. There's so many memes that I love. Hey, if you have any good memes, send them to us. I want to see them. I love memes, especially the ones like about The Last Jedi or Justice League. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, the mustache ones for Justice League.
Yeah. Oh, how are you guys doing? You guys been up to anything fun?
Been reading a ton, watching some movies. Per usual.
I like doing one of those things.
Getting some chicken dinners.
I love that more than anything.
What was that guy wearing?
For reference, we're watching the national championship game between Alabama and Georgia right now, so there might be some outbursts like Tyler just did. Will you please describe what just happened, Tyler?
It just showed this fan wearing shoulder pads with spikes on them, painted his face like a skeleton, had no shirt on underneath the shoulder pads, and a cape.
Have you ever seen a Raiders game before?
What's a Raiders fan doing at the...
Yeah, I have, but it was just weird because he was dancing around, his belly was kind of jiggling, and
belly jiggle.
Okay, well,
Nice.
on to the next. Yeah, I'm finishing up the Chaos Walking series. I'll probably finish it this week. I'm about halfway through the third installment. It's going to be a movie starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. I've said it before. Doug Liman is directing. He actually stepped away from Justice League Dark to work on it. And
I'm not mad about that.
Robert Zemeckis is producing it.
I like that guy.
So it's got a lot of star power. Mads Mikkelsen is going to be playing the villain, which is going to be really cool because I think he's a great villain actor.
I'm also a really big fan of Tom Holland.
Yeah. And I think Tom Holland will have his British accent in this movie.
Yay!
But I'm not 100% sure. Well, there's the first reaction of mine. Alabama's kicker just absolutely shanked a kick. So sorry for that.
Woo! Alabama sucks.
We're very professional here.
Yeah, sorry.
We're
guys.
just multitasking.
I'm gonna be honest. This is 100% my fault that this is happening. So if this angers anyone, just blame Tyler. Tweet at us and let me know that I suck. I will take it in stride, and we'll just keep on moving.
I mean, it's nothing new for me. I already barely pay attention during the podcast.
What have you been up to, Chris?
I've been watching a lot of movies lately. Let's see. When did we see Jumanji?
We saw it Saturday.
Okay, so we saw Jumanji Saturday. On Friday, I saw Sicario for the first time.
Oh, I love that movie.
That movie was a ride. It was awesome.
It's so good.
So good. It was intense.
I'll say it every time it comes up. If you haven't seen Sicario, just watch it. Just watch it.
It's awesome. Go see it. So one of the early scenes, I guess It came out years ago.
2015.
2015. Who cares about spoilers? It's not going to be crazy spoilers. I'm just going to say the scene where they cross the border into Mexico,
Oh, okay.
I thought was so intense. And then the movie just kept getting more intense after that. Like, it just kept building and building. Which, I mean, that Mexico scene was amazing.
Yeah.
They did just such a good job of building tension in that movie and not using violence when they didn't need to, and then using it well when they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole Mexico scene wasn't very violent.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was really quick. But it was, man, my heart was pounding through that whole scene.
Yeah, that movie it's incredible.
I also watched the movie The Skeleton Twins. It's a 2014 movie with Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig. And I don't know if you know about this, but Kristen Wiig is bae.
She's in Walter Mitty, one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, that was the first movie that I was like, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And she's in The Martian. She's really good in that too.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen that movie.
I'm
gonna read the book.
You're my friend, but that's ridiculous. No.
I'm gonna read the book first.
I know you don't like audiobooks. That is one that is very well suited for an audiobook.
I have listened to that audiobook, and I can confirm that it is incredible.
But Skeleton Twins, it's a dark comedy / drama, one of those. Really sad, but I enjoyed it. There's also the funny parts were definitely my kind of humor. I don't necessarily think it's for everyone, but if you like Bill Hader or Kristen Wiig, give it a watch.
Sweet.
Awesome. What have you done, Luke?
Well, I finally beat the main storyline in Horizon Zero Dawn, and yeah, it was awesome. I'm just gonna say that. Loved it. Now I'm just gonna finish all the side quests, do all that.
Are you gonna get the DLC? Comes out this week.
I'll probably wait till it's all out. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Because I just got another game. I just got Star Wars Battlefront 2, so I'm probably gonna be playing that a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's not the best shooter, and I think everybody would agree with that. But gosh dang it, it's Star Wars, and it feels like Star Wars, and it sounds like Star Wars. It's so awesome.
That was my favorite part of the first one, was the sound.
Oh my gosh.
Like, just hearing everything, you're just like, yeah.
When a TIE fighter just flies by you, you're just like, what is that? Oh, it's a TIE fighter. I thought it was real. But it's not. Still. Oh, well. With the microtransactions things, I'll just say this real quickly. The people who have done it, it's obvious, because they will become a hero in the first minute or two, as opposed to everybody else who just kind of dies if they're in the game. It doesn't really bother me that much because I just kind of laugh at them for wasting their money on something like that, but it's whatever.
Is there a ranked
Probably not.
co-op? Or not co-op, like a
ranked multiplayer.
Yeah, like how in...
No,
I feel like every shooter has like a ranked version of multiplayer.
It just throws you into a match.
Okay. Is there any kind of like leveling system? Like, do you...
Yeah, you rank up, you earn credits, and you can buy the loot boxes and earn cards. It takes a long time, it's fine, and I've gotten some fine stuff in the cards system too, so I'm not really complaining that like their stuff is so much better than mine.
Does it try and match you with people of like similar skill set?
No.
Okay.
No. No. It's just quickest game you can find, which I'm fine with.
I mean, there's benefits to that because you just get to play faster.
Yeah. I haven't played any of the campaign yet. I've only owned it for about 30 hours. So, but I'm going to try and play that all in one sitting.
Saturday.
So I can just experience it like a Star Wars movie. We'll see how good that is.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. And then also, I have to give a quick shout out to somebody because this is an interesting thing that happened 5 years ago today on the day that we're recording. To somebody that was a guest on an episode. I
saw your tweet right before I came over here.
It was Diane. She was on our Harry Potter episode. I left her in a bathroom in London and forgot about her, and she had to find her way home by herself. But it's okay. We're best friends now. If you want a longer version of that story, I guess let me know. But it's a pretty fun story. So, hey Diane, I'm glad you're alive. And I saw Jumanji. Should we all give let's all give our own tweet review of Jumanji.
140 characters or less?
Well, now it's like 280.
Let's go with 140 for this thing's sake.
Okay.
I'm not the best at just thinking in tweet-sized thoughts since I don't tweet.
Okay, I can go. I went into Jumanji expecting a watered-down plot and a lot of jokes, and I got exactly that, and I loved it. 2 out of 2 for me.
Yes.
2 out of 2.
I'd say it was way better than I expected. I think it's one of the better movies of that genre of just like dumb action movies that I've seen in a long time, like dumb action comedies. And I thought it did really well for what it was. And it was funny and it was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Like normally I'm not a huge fan of those types of movies, but I really enjoyed this one.
Lots of fun, really funny, really good action. Surprisingly, the emotional moments I thought actually worked.
They hit.
They're not like, oh, right in the gut, but it's like,
They
you know what?
land,
that's
though.
pretty good. Like, that's actually a pretty good point that he just made. And then also, for my last point, sorry, Star Wars fans, but I enjoyed this more than The Last Jedi. So,
I didn't want to say it, but I did too.
just gotta troll the haters.
I think I came out of the theater feeling better about it. I think part of that is also expectations.
Yeah.
I went into The Last Jedi with a lot of expectations.
Very true.
I went into Jumanji expecting it to be awful.
I didn't expect it to be awful.
And it was
but
good. It was good.
Walked into Last Jedi with a smile on my face, walked out with a confused look, walked into Jumanji kind of sleepy, walked out with a giant smile on my face.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it again with my buddy Joel.
Nice.
I can't wait.
it was great.
It's a lot of fun, and it's made $285 million domestically.
Oh my.
That's a lot. For that movie, at least.
Yeah, that's a ton. Hey, DC needs to hurry up and put The Rock in a movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Get that Black Adam flick rolling.
Let's do it.
Are we going to talk about what we bought while we were at the movie?
Oh, yeah, we can mention
give
that.
a teaser for next week.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
All right, so one night only, a Fathom event.
Fathom. After Dark.
They are showing Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
I make my own movie.
The worst movie ever made.
And so we are going to go see it in theaters.
Going to a
will
special
be
screening.
I think it's all of our first time seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going with former guest host Steve Zamboni.
Dude,
well.
everybody's getting shout outs tonight. I'm loving this. I'm just going to start shouting out random people at random times.
Shout out random football players that are playing. Shout out to number 52.
No, we're not shouting him
His
out.
belly was being shown.
We're not shouting out
awkwardly.
those guys.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
No SEC love over here.
Yeah, so we're going to see The Room, and then I think we're going to try and see The Disaster Artist shortly after, I think is the plan.
Probably
Yeah.
within the week of
Yeah.
seeing The Room.
Yeah.
It's only on the east side, right?
I don't know.
I think The Disaster Artist will be at both.
I hope so. I'm going to see it at whatever.
Yeah.
I just did the lip smack thing. Dang it.
I do that a lot, don't I?
We all do. A lot. We all got chapped lips and dry mouths and
It's that time of year.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Now I just keep hearing it. Oh, this is awful.
But yeah, The Room, Wednesday. I'm excited.
yeah, I'm so excited. I should not be so excited to see the worst movie ever made.
This is going to be a busy week for movies for me, too.
Dude, Seth Rogen on the Golden Globes last night was talking about The Room, and he was like, it's one of those movies that's just so bad, but so enjoyable that it makes you question the quality of film. So I really look forward to it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really pumped. Is that everything? Is that everything?
That's pretty much everything.
Should we get into our topic?
Let's do our topic. Let's stay on track tonight.
All right.
3-hour episode on deck.
Yes.
I hope not.
Chris's eyes just got bigger.
He got the Willem Dafoe eyes. Have you seen that meme yet from last night?
No.
Oh my god.
Somebody send me the Willem Dafoe meme.
I will send it to you right now. You guys segue us. I got you.
All right. To segue, I will just hop on this two-wheeler and let everybody know what we're going to talk about.
Hey.
We all wanted to do a comic book episode, so we were like, well, let's just talk about our favorite comics and graphic novels. So we're going to talk about our favorite comics and graphic novels. How's that for a segue?
And we're going to talk about jumping on points.
Yes, that too. We're going to...
So if you're looking to read comics and you're not really sure where to start, we're going to try to give you a few of what we consider are a great jumping on point.
That'll be great for me. Because I've not been reading comics lately. By lately, I mean like in the last 2 years.
Well, Luke and I got you.
I don't think I've read since like
College.
Since college, since New 52. I probably stuck with like the first 4 volumes of some New 52s and then fell off from there.
I got like reinvigorated with Rebirth.
Rebirth has been,
and also I've been getting into a lot of things that aren't DC or Marvel, which I think I might actually enjoy more.
I have also usually been more about like single run graphic novels,
event comics,
and event comics and graphic novels than about long runs.
Yeah,
that's just my style.
I agree. It's a self-contained story, which is really nice. It's just not constantly.
Which I mean, we'll get into a little bit of that just when I talk about
recommended reading,
my favorite comics.
All right, I think it'd be fun to do it like when we did our top 3 Nintendo 64 games, and we all say it at the same time. Should we do that again, or is that dumb?
Chris doesn't remember.
I only have 2 right now. I mean, I have a third, but it's not. My third one is a textbook.
Well, it doesn't have to be a top 3. He's just saying the way we did it.
Okay.
I only have 2 entry books.
I don't have any entry books. I'm going to be useless this episode. Sorry, guys.
I have a lot, so it's okay.
Cool.
Even though I actually haven't read all of them, I just from what I
hear
I only
from
did
other
what
people.
I
can read, but yeah, I can do that too.
I can talk about the things that I really want to read, which you own.
I did it again.
I'm sorry.
You own most of the ones that I really want to read. I just need to read them.
Yeah. You should do it.
I know. I want to read Blackest Night. It's so bad.
It's so good.
Okay, well.
Should we all do one of our 3 at the same time?
3, 2, 1.
Blackest Night.
Volume 1. New 52.
I'm glad that you put Blackest Night in there.
I was really glad you said
Batman Volume 1?
Yeah.
Of New 52?
Yeah.
Is that Court of Owls?
Court of Owls,
Yep.
yeah.
I have The Mask. That is a good one. I like that one.
It's a great jumping on point. It's Batman. Everybody's familiar with Batman, so it doesn't feel like you're a fish out of water when you start reading it.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautifully written, beautifully drawn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really easy and familiar for people who are new to comics. So I just think it's a great point to start from.
Yeah, it's written by Scott Snyder, who's pretty much Batman guy right now, him and Tom King. And then the art's by Greg Capullo.
I was going to say, it's Greg Capullo.
Mm-hmm. And you okay there?
I punched the mic stand. I don't know. I slept good last night.
Cool.
I'm all hyped up.
That run does a pretty quick but well-contained kind of small event early on with Night of Owls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good way to see how those events work, because it brings in the entire Bat family has an issue within Night of Owls. Like there's Nightwing Night of Owls. That's what the event is, right? Night of Owls. Okay.
I think so.
There's a Batman and Robin issue for Night of Owls. There's a Batgirl issue for Night of Owls. There's a Red Hood issue for Night of Owls. So it's a good way to like experience
a little bit of everything.
A little like an event on a smaller scale that doesn't completely wreck the universe.
Mm-hmm. And then like one of my favorite things about it is it's a really, really personal story for Bruce Wayne, because he just found out that his like city is more evil than he even thought. Like he thought it was just the people, but now it's the actual city is like fighting against the Batman. It's really personal, and it's a new contained, really original villain.
Yes.
Like brand new, which is very rare these days to have a new good villain. Like most of the time it's just like, oh, another Joker story. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really cool to introduce that so well.
Yeah, well, Scott Snyder's done a good job. His whole run with Batman. So
even his stuff where Jim Gordon was Batman was good, which you wouldn't expect.
Like I read the Red Hood Arsenal team up comic for, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 issues, and there was a time where they had to deal with Jim Gordon as Batman. It was really weird, but it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never felt like, oh no. Like, you know what I mean? I never felt like it was just horrible. I was just like, man, this is actually kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my number one entry, I think, would be Batman Volume 1 of the New 52.
Yeah. The one that I said was the one that Chris said, oh, you have it, I want to read it. And it's Blackest Night. It was an event comic that came out in, I don't know, late 2000s, I think. Written by Jeff Johns. Oh crap, who did the art? I don't remember who did the art. It centers around Green Lantern having to fight a bunch of dead superheroes that have Black Lantern rings, so they're coming back from the dead. It's such a huge event. Like, it might be like probably one of the biggest ones in the DC library, but it's a really, really personal story for Hal Jordan Green Lantern too. And this is the story that made me like decide that yes, Hal Jordan is definitely my favorite Green Lantern.
He's dope.
Yeah.
And it was 2009, 2010.
2009, 2010?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And did you see who did the art?
Ivan Rice.
Oh, I should have known that. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's all these just popping colors of Green Lantern rings. It goes into like blue lanterns and indigo lanterns and goes through the whole entire light spectrum. I'm not even going to get into that. That could be a whole episode.
That could be an episode and a half.
That I could talk about that for hours. It's one of my favorite parts of the DC universe, and it goes into all of that. And like all these other heroes are becoming different types of lanterns, and it has this epic showdown at the end versus Necron. You're just like, oh, it's so
also
epic.
has one of the coolest looking characters in it, Deathstorm.
Yeah,
Very underrated character,
Yeah.
I think.
and it has pretty much every single hero except Batman. Yes, Batman is in it for a little bit. I just don't want to spoil it. Okay, I'll spoil it. Whatever. No, I won't. Never mind.
Yeah, don't.
I'm not going to do it because
Chris
Chris
wants to read it.
Now, with Blackest Night, would you also recommend reading Brightest Day?
No.
Okay.
It's good. It's fine. Like
Get
I enjoyed it, but it's
a little more of the story, but it's not.
It's nothing compared to Blackest Night. And Blackest Night also, I don't think it's necessarily one of the best out there, but it's one of my favorite because it's one of the first ones that I read. Like when I started reading comics, I was like, oh, I'll try out Batman and Wonder Woman and all these, and I was like, this one looks cool. Because it's literally just Hal Jordan standing there with his ring and all the colors were behind him. I was like, this one sounds cool. It's like zombies or something in it. I read that thing straight through. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Changed your life.
It's like a defining comic for me. So it's the comic version of After Dark. Blackest Night.
Chris, what was yours? I didn't hear yours.
Watchmen.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Really good choice.
So that's Alan Moore, illustrated by Dave Gibbons. And part of why I chose this one is it's completely self-contained. It's new characters in it that for a long time, that was the only thing that they was in the Watchmen. That's changing now, but
Yes.
part of that was because it was such a crazy story that they didn't want to use existing characters because it would have changed too much. And because of that, you don't need to know anything going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Big bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay, man.
I keep doing it.
It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. I can edit it out.
Just leave them in.
I'm
and
gonna-
my reaction.
I'm going to auto-tune all of your lip smacks. Yeah, Watchmen, I didn't actually read this till after I saw the movie.
I still have not read it.
I have still not seen the movie.
Wow.
I don't know if Chris will like the movie. It's Zack Snyder. It's a divisive movie. It looks really good. I like it.
I think Watchmen's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Personally, I really do.
It's also a lot different. I'll
Mhm.
just say it right now. No squid.
And I think but I think that's good.
Yeah, in the movie, it would have.
It would have been really weird.
You can't. I don't think you can do Watchmen perfectly as a movie. It's too weird.
I think that's true of most comics because I mean I wrote a whole paper about this in college. Comics are their own form of media for a reason because they're showing things that you can't show just in text and things that you can't show just in picture can only be shown through like the marriage of the two in a really unique way. And so I think that there are stories that are best suited for literature. I think of like Lord of the Rings. The movies were amazing, but those books blow them out of the water. There are stories that are best suited for film, something like The Matrix, and then there are stories that are best suited for comic.
And I don't know if I really even understand Watchmen still. It's really long.
It is.
It's pretty. I think it's
beefy.
actually pretty hard to read too.
It's definitely not a sit down and read in an afternoon.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time to get through. But
Yeah.
I need to read it still. Every time I look at it, when I go to Barnes & Noble or anywhere that sells books and I see it,
Mhm.
I pick it up and I hold it in my hand for a second and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read this, and then I don't buy it because I'm scared.
Something great about Watchmen too is it's like a commentary about superhero comics, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So pretty much what I'm saying is don't read this one first.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a great jumping in point.
No, definitely not.
But
you can.
if you like, I mean, I'd say it could be a good jumping into comic books if you already love superheroes. You already watch a ton of superhero movies and cartoons and TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point, that's an extremely realistic possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if it's your first, if you don't know anything about superheroes besides who Batman and Superman are, might be a little much for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's great. I think it's worth it. I think it's got an amazing story.
I love the backstory with it too. How he was Alan Moore was going to use the question. He's going to use Blue Beetle, and then DC was like, no. So it's like, okay,
Yeah, you're doing too much. It's going to wreck the universe. You have to have this all in your own contained universe and not include any of these characters.
it's like, fine, I'll just make exact copies of them,
Yeah.
and they're great
vehicle
characters.
and all.
Yeah. What's the name of
Night Owl.
What's the name of his bug? Blue Beetle's is called the bug.
I don't remember the owl.
Archie,
Mm.
because it's the name of the owl from Sword in the Stone.
Oh, yeah, Archimedes.
That's it. Oh, I was thinking of Archie comics. Darn it. Wrong Archie. Oh, well. It's all good.
I'm gonna read Watchmen soon. I say that. I hope I do.
I've got it, so
I should probably read it again.
Now, did you read before Watchmen?
I've not.
I've heard it's terrible.
I haven't heard good things about it, but I was just curious.
Yeah.
Is that also Alan Moore?
I don't know.
Because that was a lot more recent than Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan Moore might be past his...
Alan Moore is a little psycho.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And it shows. Well, that's the first, right?
Yeah.
Round two?
Round two. By the way, I have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
This one's a textbook.
Okay, mine has an asterisk. 3, 2, 1.
Just
Understanding
Volume
comics.
I'll go first because mine has an asterisk because technically I haven't finished yet. It's Why the Last Man. I've never... I almost put this as my number one, but I was like, I don't think I can do that because I haven't finished it. But I've never wanted to read a comic book through so bad. It's so good. I honestly can't believe that nothing like this has been done before. And on the other side of that, I can't believe this hasn't been adapted into a TV show. It's ridiculous. It's perfect. The script is written. All you have to do is film it. It just blows my mind. It's so good. I was reading it yesterday and I was like, gosh dang it, I want to read this. But I had to go.
I can tell you a book that's close to it.
What?
Chaos Walking.
Oh, does it have to deal with all of the, is it similar in males dying or is it all females?
All women die.
Well, that's not as bad. No, I was kidding.
It's a little... It's interesting. I won't spoil it because the movie is going to come out and I don't want it to be spoiled before you see it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Can I ask one question about Chaos Walking real quick?
Sure.
Is Daisy Ridley the York character? Is she the last one? You can just say yes or no.
No.
Okay.
Yes and no. She is the last of something.
She's the last...
But she's the last Jedi. She is the last of something, but she's not the last one.
Mm,
And she's going to rock that character because she's a fan of the books, so she's going to work really hard.
cool. Anyway.
Sorry. Yeah. Why the Last Man? I actually have not started reading that yet because I'm scared of what's going to happen when I start, and it's going to detract me from finishing this series. So,
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm super interested in this, and I'm with you. I haven't read it yet, but I'm really curious as to why it's not a show or movie, or it wouldn't work as a movie. I don't think. I think it would work better as a TV show, but
it's very
very episodic. I think it
Yeah.
would work best. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I haven't even read it yet, but glowing reviews. I've never heard anybody say Why the Last Man is just kind of all right. Anybody I've talked to that's read it is like, yeah. I think even when you bought it,
when I bought it, we're
Yeah.
at Barnes and Noble, and this dude was
in
like,
Kansas City.
yeah,
by the
he's
way.
like the guy who sold it to me was like, we had to write a paper about this when I was in high school or college. It's like our teacher made us read it, and I was like, I'm gonna love this. if it's like
If
they're reading it in
teachers-
schools, like
Yeah.
The premise for Why the Last Man is just fantastic. I can't wait to read it. I have it. I actually have the first volume on my bookshelf right now
Mhm.
from you. Thanks.
What was yours, Chris?
Understanding comics.
I remember when you read this.
I loved that book. It is a comic book about understanding comic books.
That's awesome.
So it's a textbook. I used it when I was working on my final project in college. Scott McCloud, I believe. It is all a comic book. It's all written in panels, but it does such a good job of explaining comics and how we read them, why we read them, how different aspects bring out different parts of a comic, why a character might be more highly detailed and another character might be less detailed, the role that color plays and everything like that. And I think anyone who likes comics, anyone who enjoys comics should read this. It's a quick read, but it just deepens your appreciation for comics.
Could you say it deepens your understanding of comics?
Yes.
Cool. Nobody could see my cool head motions, but that's okay.
I was gonna say you were so proud of that.
Yeah. I'm just a comedic genius. What can I say?
Yeah, the work in that on the idea of iconography changed the way that I view not only comics but art in general. I was a literature major, and before I read this book I was like hard and fast. I said comic books are 100% literature, because to me saying they weren't literature made them something less than literature. And after reading this, I've decided comic books are not literature. They're comic books. They're their own thing, but that doesn't make them less than literature. They're a different form of media than just written word, but I still think that they're 100% valid and awesome, and I like them more than literature most of the time.
Can I borrow that book?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What was yours, Tyler?
My number 2, right? We went 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
My number 2 was another New 52 title, and it was Justice League Volume 1 or Issue 1 even, Origin.
Mm-hmm.
The title speaks for itself. It's literally the origin of the Justice League and the New 52, which, again, great jumping on point. You got a really easy writer to read, Jeff Johns, and
Jim Lee.
I was going to say, and a legend in comic book art, Jim Lee. You've seen his work from anywhere to Injustice to Arrow. It's been on the Arrow show.
Mm-hmm.
It's been everywhere. So easy to look at, easy to read, simple story, tons of fun. A little bit of everybody's in the book. Just easy jumping on point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad that you're choosing a lot of things from the time when I was reading comics. So far I've read both of yours. So
Well, all of mine will be
nice.
in pretty much in the New 52.
Fun fact, this was the first comic I bought.
Yeah.
I bought it at the, don't know the number, 17th Street Mall in Denver, Colorado, at the Barnes & Noble.
That's awesome.
16th Street Mall.
Oh, so close.
16th Street Mall.
Gosh dang it.
There's nothing on 17th Street.
Oh.
17th Street's not even real.
Where did I go? I think I went to another dimension.
You went to the Twilight Zone.
I went to that, I can't think of it.
The Upside Down?
No, I was going to say Barks and Bailey's. This creepy store in Harry Potter. The one that Harry accidentally goes to.
Flourish and Blots?
Sure, I don't know.
When he takes the flu powder and
Diagonally.
yeah, diagonally and goes to the wrong place.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
an idiot.
I can't remember what it's called. I feel terrible about myself right now.
I never finished the books.
Okay, but yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, it's
I
really
think it
good.
speaks for itself in its own title, Origin. I mean,
Yeah, and it's a good origin.
And
they fight Darkseid, which is pretty much as epic as you can get.
yep, and it turns into a great animated movie.
What?
They fight Darkseid?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And I know I've read that one.
It's pretty much the Justice League movie, except it's Darkseid instead of Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And there's no unity.
Okay.
But, well, there is unity between the Justice League, but there's no unity between the mother boxes.
Maybe I read JLA,
Justice League Origin's dope.
Justice League of America.
And Justice League War, the animated movie, is made straight out of that comic book.
Mm-hmm. Except they take out Aquaman and they put in Shazam.
Yeah, in the movie.
Which I didn't like. And then also, sorry to kind of bash the comic real quick, I don't like Wonder Woman in it. She's an idiot, which I don't like, but I mean, that's okay. It's how they meet. It takes place 5 years or so before Justice League Volume 2, when they're the actual Justice League. So it's when she's first in man's world, pretty much. So, but I still love Wonder Woman. Hi, Wonder Woman. I love you.
And that the New 52 run of Wonder Woman was awesome.
Yes, it's iconic. No, I don't know if it is, but it's really good.
It's pretty close.
They leaned so heavy into the mythology, and I think that was
It was my favorite part about
really
it.
good.
And just like I was gonna say animate, but they draw the Greek gods how you would not expect them. For instance, Hades is a little boy, and his head is a melting candle. We just lost 4 listens when I said that. No, it's good. I'm like, I'm out.
So are we on to the final round for our number 1 jumping on point?
Should we do honorable mentions first, or should we do it after in case we accidentally take one? Okay, let's do it after. Never mind.
Okay.
I just answered my own question.
Are we doing our last one? Are we yelling them all again?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
New
Batman: The
52
Long
Wonder
Halloween.
Woman.
Sorry that I took yours
That's
earlier.
okay. That's why I didn't say anything when you guys were talking about it.
Whoopsie.
Yours was Long Halloween and yours was
Mouse.
Mouse. Don't know what Mouse is.
I do know what it is.
Enlighten
It's
me.
pretty sweet.
Is it Redwall?
No.
Dude, I
It's,
would so read Redwall comics.
Art Spiegelman, and it is the story of his father's time in a Nazi concentration camp. It won a Pulitzer Prize, and then the Pulitzer Prize people were like, yeah, we're not giving this to a comic ever again.
Screw them. Good
Yeah.
job, Mouse.
Yeah, it crushed it.
It won a Pulitzer?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to read it now.
It won the Pulitzer. It won I think it just won a special achievement Pulitzer. Like, it wasn't a specific Pulitzer, but still, like, that's awesome. It's drawn as if the Jews in the Holocaust are mice and Nazis in the Holocaust are cats, and then other people are different animals in it as well. And it's not only that, but it's also him talking with his father about all of this. So it's like semi-biographical, semi-autobiographical. Like, you can debate whether or not it's classified as fiction or nonfiction. I know, I forgot who, but there was one critic who said, I will call Mouse nonfiction the day a 5.5 foot tall mouse knocks on my door, because it's written with, anthropomorphized mice in it. So he was like, it's not nonfiction, but a lot of people are like, no, this is a biography. This is definitely nonfiction. But
Sounds really deep.
I haven't read it, but I kind of like looked through it one time, and it looks really cool.
yeah,
It looks really interesting. It's a unique way to tell a story that has been told, but in a new way, a personal way, and a creative way. So
I mean, that's also why I really like Persepolis, because Persepolis is an autobiography written as a comic book. I mean, I think that they're both great. I think Mouse is
better.
Yeah. I don't want to put a value judgment on someone's autobiography. Persepolis is also very good, but Mouse is a piece of art. It's amazing. I also have a book about Mouse called Meta Mouse. That's it's a novel. It's not a comic book, or not a novel, but a
Novella?
no, because a novel implies fiction. It's a book about Mouse.
Okay.
Nonfiction book about the writing of Mouse and stuff like that. I even have, with that, like, it came with a CD of recordings of Art Spiegelman and his father, of Art interviewing his father for the graphic novel. Like, there's just so much there, but the graphic novel itself is amazing and heart-wrenching and powerful and meaningful, and I think that everyone should read it. I think that it should be taught in schools. I think it's great.
Well, that's awesome. Not sure how I'm going to follow that up. You guys already talked about mine. Wonder Woman, New 52 Wonder Woman, the entire run, I think is worth reading. I don't really need to say any more because you guys had kind of talked about it, but it really dives into the mythology of Wonder Woman, and it's just a ton of fun. Dang it, I lip smacked. It's a ton of fun. I would recommend it to anybody who, whether they read comics or not. I would hand them a Wonder Woman comic and be like, you need to read this because it's great. And that's all I would need to say. Because when they read it, they would come back and be like, can I give this to someone else? Because Luke lent me his, and I read it, and then my now wife read it. Like, it's just so good. Obviously, it's not a work of art like Mouse, but it's a great jumping on point for DC Comics.
I'd say it's the best New 52 run.
I think it's the best
Easily.
written.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it is the best written.
Yeah.
Who wrote it?
Brian Azzarello.
That's right.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. You guys talked about it quite a bit, so.
If you liked the Wonder Woman movie, definitely check out the New 52 run. It'll give you another side of Wonder Woman too. She's taking care of a little baby. It's really cool. The one I said, I've talked about it before. I mentioned it in our question and answer episode. My favorite comic currently is Batman the Long Halloween. It's by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It's honestly one of the best written things I've ever read. Granted, I have not read very many books, and out of comic books, sometimes the writing isn't as good, I'd say. I think that's fair to say. Is it?
I mean, there's some pretty terrible young adult novels out there.
It's true. I don't know. Anyway, but like it has a really intricate story that you actually really have to pay attention to, because there's be little things in it that you don't notice, and at the end it will, like, a reveal happens and you go, "Oh my gosh." That's insane. Because what it is it's an origin story for Two-Face. I just want to let you know that didn't spoil anything, even though that is the ending. A lot of crazy things happen in it. Through it, there's somebody is killing everybody at each holiday. And the first one happens on Halloween. So it's called The Long Halloween. And has really, really specific art style, which is really weird looking and super dope. Like, some of the characters look kind of creepy because it kind of looks like a shadow, how it's like distorted kind of. I don't really know how to describe it. Look up the art from The Long Halloween and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like really swirly and shadowy, and it looks really cool. They pull a twist in it that I thought I knew what was going to happen at the end, and it turns out I didn't, which is just really cool. I've read it a couple times, and it should be one of the
adaptations.
This is so embarrassing.
It's okay.
It should be one of the adaptations. Did I get it?
Sure.
Kind of.
Gosh darn it.
Close enough.
That Matt Reeves uses in the Batman movie. Or just use the title, Batman the Long Halloween. It's a great title. Release it on October 27th, 2020.
It'd make it.
I highly recommend it. It's so good. I read it when I was on jury duty and I had to wait in the room. It's like, I gotta wait in this room for like 7 hours reading Batman the Long Halloween. It was a great decision.
So should we do some honorable mentions?
Yes.
Not like yelling them.
Just say it. Would you have one?
Yeah. I'm gonna get away from DC here. I think the most recent run of Exo Man of War from Valiant Comics is worth anybody's time. I didn't read all of it because obviously it's still going, but I read the first 9 issues or so, and it was really, really good. Matt Kent wrote it. He actually signed my first issue of that book.
Yeah.
So I bought 2 first issues.
Nice.
But absolutely worth a read. Exo Man of War from Valiant Comics.
I think places like Valiant are so important. Like when you had me read Bloodshot, there's just something about picking up a comic book with a totally new character that you don't have any baggage associated with, that you don't know anything about. There's just something really enjoyable about that. So places like Valiant that are, they're lesser known, but they have these universes that aren't already, so far established or had to have been rebooted so many times. So you don't have all of this like pre-existing feelings towards the characters. I think is really important that we have places like that putting comics out.
Absolutely.
All right, so one of my honorable mentions was, it would have been on my list if I hadn't started reading Why the Last Man, but it's The Killing Joke. It's a definitive comic, I think, for most people.
Yeah.
It's a Joker origin story that works. What? That shouldn't
It's a crazy
be
concept.
a thing. And if you want a good version, read the book.
Not the movie.
Don't watch the movie. Or I guess you can watch the last 40 minutes of the movie. Just skip the crappy Batgirl stuff at the beginning, because that ruined everything.
Well, and there's a lot of really solid Batman stories.
Yeah. Hush.
Yeah, Hush. I mean, for me, I think all of us have, in different ways, really connected with Robin. So, Death in the Family is like that's an important story to me.
Yeah. That was one of mine too. Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
A tear just went down my face.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason. You gone. See you.
Such a crappy way to.
Yeah.
Beat with a crowbar and blown
No,
to
the way
smithereens.
he was actually written out.
Voted by fans.
Yeah, and they found out later that someone did like a copier on their phone and just had it calling it all day long.
Yeah.
But
It was just a
also,
robodial.
you wouldn't have Red Hood if it wasn't for that. Who is your favorite character?
Yeah, that's true, but it's
Yeah.
still crappy.
So you should be thanking that guy.
No, I don't like that guy.
Thank you, sir, for cheating the system. You gave us a great character.
Yeah, I think that that still did a lot for just the mantle of Robin, that story. But
Let you know
man.
that they're not safe.
yeah,
Also kind of shows what happens to Batman after that when he doesn't have a Robin.
yeah.
Super iconic moment that kind of echoes across time for all of it.
Oh yeah.
Batman's biggest mistake.
Mm-hmm.
A lot with that book.
Oh yeah. There's a lot to unpack there.
Mm-hmm. Another honorable mention I have is Justice League Identity Crisis. This is one of the first comics I read too, and I just want to say this is definitely one you don't read first. If you read it without knowing anything about these side Justice League characters, like Batman is in it, but it has a lot of Green Arrow and like Dr. Light is in it. It has probably my favorite Deathstroke moment. It's super epic. It's a really heavy book. I don't really know how to explain it. I'll kind of give a brief part in the middle. So Elongated Man's wife is murdered, and that's where this kind of investigation takes place. But they find out that Dr. Light, the villain version, we're about to get dark on What a Fanboy, raped Sue Dibney, Elongated Man's wife, and for some reason Zatanna wiped Dr. Light's memory and Batman's memory. I don't really remember why. I haven't read it in a long time. It was like 7 years. No, it's like 6 years ago. It's whatever. But it gets really heavy, and it's something you just don't expect in a comic book, especially a DC Justice League book.
All right.
All right, let's bring this back up to the positive side.
That sounds really fun, actually. The book itself, like as a read,
Yeah, it's
sounds like really grown up.
You should borrow it. It's really good. I do have another one.
Let's hear
If
it.
nobody else has one. This one will be quicker though.
I had one in my mind, but go ahead.
And
I'll think of it.
It's Saga by Brian K. Vaughan. If it's a mature comic, so is Y the Last Man, by the way. There's a lot of language and there's sex in them. I'll just say that as a precursor. A lot more in Saga, but it's pretty much Star Wars meets Game of Thrones with some Lord of the Rings in there. And it is absolute insanity, and it's fantastic.
I have one more.
Hit me with it.
1985 was a super iconic year for DC, and they released The Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
Definitely not a jumping on point. Do not read this as your first comic because you will be so confused. But it was when DC finally introduced and explained the multiverse, and then brought it all. Well, they didn't introduce it, but they explained it a little bit better, and then they brought it all down to one continuity instead of having like 50 different storylines for different characters and stuff. Insane book. I still have not finished it, but it just blew my mind, even in the first 6 issues, and it's a 12-issue run. So, Crisis on Infinite Earths, must read if you're a DC Comics fan, after reading some of the others we've mentioned.
Yeah. Which, if you want something that touches on like different timelines and different universe type stuff, that's a little more digestible because it's only really dealing with 2 timelines, check out Flashpoint.
Definitely, yeah.
it's what starts the New 52 off.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to apologize. Our libraries were pretty DC heavy. We just haven't read as much Marvel.
Yeah, none of us have read a ton of Marvel, so tweet at us. Let us know what we need to read in Marvel. Let us know what those darkest nights are in Marvel that we need to read.
I do have one Marvel suggestion. Brian Michael Bendis's run on anything that he writes. He is now a DC Comics writer, unfortunately for Marvel fans, but he created Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's finishing up his run on Jessica Jones and Iron Man right now. Incredible writer. I would touch anything he reads. Writes. I will pick up and read it.
Yeah,
fantastic. So, tons of Marvel books by him. Read all of them. Read them all twice.
Did I say Darkest Night a minute ago?
You did.
Oops.
it's okay.
Let us know what the blackest nights in the Marvel Universe are.
Besides Civil War. I mean, I know about Civil War.
Yeah, we all know about that.
Planet Hulk.
Yeah. World War Hulk. Secret Avengers.
Secret War.
New Mutants.
Don't tell us anything. No. No,
we
please.
just need to read these.
Yeah,
we
please.
haven't read them.
Please send us some.
We're not like trying to sound like DC fanboys. It's just I think all
That's
of us
what we've read.
all of us grew up on DC.
Yeah.
And then Marvel movies started coming out and we're like, oh, these are pretty cool. Except for Tyler.
Yeah. I do want to read
I'm
more
not
like
as
more
bad.
X-Men.
Not anymore.
I mean, X-Men's awesome, so I
Yeah.
want to read more of that.
I want to read Old Man Logan. I might wait till it's actually done though, so I can just read the whole thing at once because it's still going. I think I see issues on the wall when I go to the comic book store. Anyway, yeah, send us those to us. But Tyler mentioned Miles Morales and Brian Michael Bendis, so I'm gonna start off the next section. Good jumping off points because that was one of them that I had. Brian Michael Bendis' Ultimate Spider-Man #1. You like Spider-Man? Go get it. That's one of mine. You have some too, don't you?
What?
Jumping off points. For beginners.
Oh, yeah. I kind of mentioned it. X-Men of War. Number
Okay,
one,
yeah.
Valiant Comics. Get you away from what you see on movies. Get you like a true, real, fresh comic book experience.
Mhm.
X-Men of War #1. Eric from Earth. Awesome story.
Some that I have, I think they're some of the best. Tyler already said it. New 52, Justice League Origin.
Mm-hmm.
Say Justice League, The New Frontier is actually probably one of my favorite Justice League Origins. It's an animated movie as well by Darwin Cook. Batman Year One, Frank Miller. I haven't read it yet, but Marvel's Runaways, I hear, is just one of the best things to start reading if you're like not sure if you want to read comics yet.
I work with a huge like Marvel guy who grew up in the 70s and 80s, or more so the 80s, when Marvel was like peak Marvel comics, and he said Runaways is just absolutely fantastic. No matter how big a fan of comic books and superheroes you are, it's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
So I share that same sentiment.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. When I go to Barnes and Noble for lunch a lot, I've looked at it so many times. I'm like, I should just take it off the shelf and buy it, but I haven't yet.
Or just read a little bit at a time and then write down a page number.
And just do it in Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
People do
should.
that all the time.
I should do that. Why the Last Man and Saga, I'd say, are great jumping off points because they're self-contained stories. Saga is still going, but it's only got like 8 volumes, I think, and they're pretty short. I have one more, unless anybody else has any more. This one is pretty vague.
I do not.
Okay. My last suggestion is just buy something and read it. You like the Doctor Strange movie? Go to the comic book store or go to Barnes & Noble or some bookstore and just find a Doctor Strange comic book and flip through it and see if it's good. If you like it, buy it, read it. Sit in the store and read it. All you have to do is find the character that you like, and then welcome to a whole new world, baby.
Yeah, you'll forget about those movies real quick.
Yeah. There's so many comics out there. been around since Okay, they've been around for longer, but Superman came in 1938. No. Yeah, 1938.
Yeah, like we talk a lot about like New 52, and I mean, say whatever you will about New 52. Like, we know that it's not the golden age of comics. It's also, it got us reading comics because it started over, which was important for us to be able to start somewhere.
Which is nice right now with Rebirth.
Yeah, now they're doing that again. It's a perfect time to start reading new comics.
There's a few Rebirth titles I would recommend. Titans.
Yep.
Me personally, I'm a huge Sidekick guy. Titans is awesome. Nightwing, Wally West, Wonder Girl, if you want to call her that. But yeah, Titans is a good one. And then I'm probably the only person who would recommend Red Hood and the Outlaws to anyone. But Red Hood and the Outlaws is New 52. Red Hood and the Outlaws, volumes 1 through 7 are my favorite. That's my favorite comic run ever. So I would recommend that. You can hate on it if you want, that's fine. But I just thought it was so good. And Rebirth has not been a letdown. They changed the team up a little bit from what the New 52 was, which is kind of upsetting, but I like the new characters. So I would suggest Red Hood and the Outlaws, Rebirth, or New 52. Stay away from that Red Hood Arsenal series. It wasn't bad, but it's not a good representation of
the characters.
Yeah. The art was weird, and it was just a weird story.
And some really, really easy ones to get into are Batman and Superman.
Yeah, and I was going to say Superman Rebirth.
There's a reason they're the most popular characters. Like, I'd say they're top 2 in the 4. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and I don't know, I was going to say Wonder Woman, but I don't know if she's
maybe
as
the
popular as
Hulk.
the 3. Yeah.
The Hulk is really popular in comics.
They put usually the best writers on Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
And Batman Rebirth is really good. But I mean, I'd say like one of my favorite characters was Wonder Woman. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to buy this. I don't want to be made fun of or whatever. I bought it. I read the crap out of it. It was so good. Now I'm a diehard Wonder Woman fan. I don't care who knows it.
I have a Wonder Woman Rebirth book I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to sit down and read it. Does that carry us over into our new thing for the week? Our try new things?
Yeah.
So we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But we decided we were going to do a try new things for each other tonight. I am assigning Chris.
I'm assigning Luke.
I'm assigning Tyler.
Okay, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first. All right, Tyler, you said you weren't sure if you want to start it yet, but guess what? You get to start Why the Last Man.
Well, I already have it at the house, so that's perfect.
Yep.
I will.
Oh, were you guys both doing comics? I didn't do a comic.
That's okay.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I'll check it out this week.
One of the reasons I assigned this, not just because it's one of my favorite things ever right now, he already has it at his house.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
I brought mine with me for Chris. Chris, I know you've been wanting to read it, so I brought the Button, the deluxe edition of it.
Awesome.
Wow. Mine's a lot longer than Chris has to read.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Button is short, and that's another reason I signed it. It's easy to read. You can read it in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting, and I think you will be pleasantly surprised by it. Because of how short it is, it's kind of shocking that it's as good as it is.
All right. Luke, I've got a video game for you.
Oh,
and
yes.
I want you to beat it.
Is it Breath of the Wild?
No.
Okay, good, because I don't think I'm going to beat that yet.
I've talked about it on here before as one of my favorite video games. It is Ori and the Blind Forest.
All right, I'm down. I'm in. I've actually wanted to play it. I have it downloaded on my Xbox.
Awesome.
How long is it?
Ooh, I don't remember. I mean, you could definitely beat it this week.
Okay. I'll do my best. I'll put it on super easy setting.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Yeah, you do you.
I'll ramp it up if it's too easy.
Okay. Yeah, it's a platformer,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. It's my favorite platformer of anything. I like it more than Metroid.
Wow.
But no, I like it more than Metroid. I like it more than a lot of things.
I watched you play it for a bit. It's super, super pretty.
It's beautiful, and the music is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll probably play it again this week. So,
for Why the Last Man, yes, it is pretty long. But honestly, if you like it as much as I did, you won't put it down. You'll just read it.
I'll have to supplement it with Chaos Walking because I'm literally directly at the halfway point of the final book.
You'll finish that first. No.
Whoops. So we will report back next week on those.
Yep. And I imagine we'll also be talking about The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to talk about that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. So I guess, should we go into our last segment? We had some tweets, I think.
Yeah, we had a couple.
What's this?
I'm looking at this picture of Gal Gadot and Jessica Chastain right now.
I just looked at the Willem Dafoe that you sent me.
Dude, I told you. It's fantastic.
That is so good. Oh my gosh. All right.
We didn't have a whole lot of questions, but we do have some.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for Twitter with Tyler. Wait for it. It's loading. It's buffering. It wasn't very loud.
It was really quiet, but that's okay. We had a few questions. First question actually came from @theboywanda, which is Luke.
What? I don't remember doing
Got a question
this.
from Luke on here?
Yeah. Am I allowed to ask a question to my own podcast?
Oh, I did do that.
And I responded. I'm going to say
No.
yes. Yes, you may. No, this is not Luke responding to Luke. And then Luke tweeted again and said I'm lying. They were both me, which they actually weren't. So Luke is lying twice. It confused JT. He's like, wait, what? What is happening? JT, it was just Luke being dumb. Don't worry about it.
I was pretty bored at work.
Must have been a slow day for him. Okay, our real next question came from Blakeby @Blakeby. Y'all ever going to do a Game of Thrones episode?
Haven't we answered this a few times already?
Yeah, but he must really want a Game of Thrones episode.
Okay, Blake, hear this. Send us an actual topic in the Game of Thrones world to talk about, and maybe we'll do it. We're not going to review Game of Thrones until late 2019 when it's over.
Yeah.
So
send
us a specific topic, not just Game of Thrones.
I mean, this year we talked about the first episode and the last episode, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah, so we've already done 2 Game of Thrones episodes. They just weren't the only thing in the episode.
We talked to them for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, send us a topic. We'll talk about it. Zachary Newman's question, which this is partly my fault. He said he'd really like an answer to the dance move question he asked earlier. Now, to explain that, the dance move question is, what was the best dance move busted of last year?
This one.
Sorry, audience, you'll never get to see what was the best dance move of last year.
They might have heard it, though.
Spoiler alert, it was not the best dance move busted.
In your opinion.
I'm going to say it was the BYU mascot. And Zach, just look up BYU mascot dance, and it'll pop up. I think that was the best dance move busted of 2017.
Does the dance fighting in Jumanji count?
Yeah.
That was 2018, though.
No, we saw it in 2018.
Technically, it was filmed in 2017. That's a good call.
And it came out in 2017.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, it did. You right.
We were just slow.
I'm going to say the super awkward dancing scene at the end of Stranger Things Season 2.
Yeah.
I actually liked that scene a lot.
I loved it. But it was pretty awkward, too. And everybody started kissing. Spoilers.
But
JT sent us something else, too. I just saw this before we came up. Maybe he just sent it to me. I don't know. But he sent us the Red Sparrow trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that this afternoon when I was pooping. All I just want to say is, yeah, it's a Black Widow movie, except all we had to do was trade out lame old Scarlett Johansson for lame old Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, that's right. Suffering from Jennifer Lawrence fatigue over here. Don't care. Next question. Or I guess that's the end of the question.
Is it really a Black Widow movie?
It's called Red Sparrow. She's a Russian spy.
Oh, yeah. Good call, JT.
And honestly, yeah, the movie did look pretty good. Jennifer Lawrence annoys me.
Good eye, JT. I'm glad you remembered that and then threw that back to us. That's pretty cool. He did send that, and I saw it. I don't know where I saw it, though. I think he sent it to our personals.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's all the questions.
Yep. Speaking of personal Twitters, segue machine over here. You can follow me at theboywanda, THE_BOI_WUNDA. Send me some memes.
You can follow me at Tyler_19_Davis. Send me whatever you want.
I'm also on Instagram now. It's luke.zilke. It's not private anymore, but you can send me memes on there, I guess.
Mine's still private, but you can still follow me. I'll confirm you. I'll follow you back. Chris, where can we find you?
Right here.
Okay, Chris doesn't
On
have
the
social
couch.
media. He has Facebook.
You can follow us at What the Fanboy on Twitter and Instagram. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, What the Fanboy Podcast. Review and rate us. Give us the 5-star reviews, boy. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're also on YouTube.
We are on
looking
YouTube.
for more trailer reactions this year. That'll be fun to do.
We've got some reviews on iTunes, and I love reading them. So keep sending them.
Yep.
Give us them 5 stars.
Yeah.
And that is it for this week on What the Fanboy.
In the world.
We will report back on The Room next week.
Oh, I'm so excited. See ya.
You're tearing this family apart.
I'm excited for pizza, and I'm not even hungry. I just want pizza.
I'm pretty hungry. Yeah, boy.